They said my dog was dangerous, that he didn't belong here. He was a threat to the community. But my pit bull, Max, wasn't the problem. Karen was. She lobbied the HOA to ban him, spread rumors, and tried to have him removed. But the universe has a way of flipping the script, because one night, during a storm, everything changed. Max didn't just prove them wrong, he became the hero this neighborhood never expected. And Karen? She was left speechless, humiliated, exposed. Let me rewind and tell you how this all began. Max came into my life when I needed someone the most. I'd just gone through a nasty divorce, moved into a smaller house in a suburban community with a homeowners association, and felt like the world was falling apart. My therapist said I needed purpose, so I went down to the local rescue shelter just to look around, and there he was. Max, a stocky gray pit bull with golden eyes, and a crooked smile that made him look more human than canine. The volunteers told me he'd been there for over 3 months. Nobody wanted him. It's not because he was mean, but because of the breed. He had been abandoned twice. They told me he was gentle, well-trained, and absolutely starved for love. That was all I needed to hear. Bringing him home was one of the best decisions I ever made. He adapted fast, slept beside my bed, greeted me at the door every day with his tail smacking the walls. He loved walks, belly rubs, and sunbathing on the back deck. Even got along with the mailman. Max wasn't dangerous. He was family. But the HOA didn't see it that way. The problem started when Karen moved in across the street. The type crisp clothes, nose always in the air, walks like the sidewalk owes her rent. She drove a silver Lexus and acted like she ran the world. Of course, within 2 weeks she'd been voted onto the HOA board. One morning I was tossing a ball for Max in the front yard. He never left the lawn, trained him for that. But suddenly, I heard a screech. "Is that a pit bull?" Karen asked, standing on the sidewalk like I'd just unleashed a bear. "Yes," I said, smiling. "His name's Max." Her lips curled, like I'd just said, Satan. "You're not allowed to own dangerous breeds in this community," she snapped. I blinked. I read the HOA handbook before moving in. There's no banned breed list. "Well, there should be," she hissed. "Those things are time bombs." She walked away in disgust. That should have been the end of it. But it was just the beginning, eh? Week later, got a letter in the mail from the HOA. It cited multiple complaints about an aggressive breed being off-leash in a common area. Even though Max was never off my property, the letter warned of a potential fine if the issue continued. I appealed. I sent video footage from my door cam showing Max playing peacefully in the yard. No barking, no chasing, just vibes. Still, they didn't back down. Karen doubled down. She started warning neighbors about the pit bull across the street. I caught her whispering to a mom walking her toddler. I heard her tell another family that he growled at her kids, which was a lie. Her campaign was working. People started crossing the street to avoid us during walks. I heard murmurs, the parents pulling kids away. "Don't go near that." How's Max sensed it? He started staying closer to me, less playful, more alert. It broke my heart. I called the HOA for a formal meeting. I came prepared, printed logs, videos, trainer notes, even a letter from the vet saying Max had no history of aggression. I explained that pit bulls are one of the most misunderstood breeds, that it was discrimination, not danger. Karen didn't care, she said. "We have to think about the safety of the children. If anything happens, the board could be liable. It's better to be proactive," I responded. "Better to be fair. If he hasn't hurt anyone, hasn't threatened anyone, what exactly are you acting on?" She just smiled coldly and said, "Perception matters." I left that meeting defeated. Over the next few weeks, the pressure grew. They sent me a list of breed alternatives. I suggested I relocate Max, even offered to waive some fees if I found a more appropriate pet. The message was clear: give him up, or we'll make your life hell. But I wasn't going to abandon him, not after what we'd been through. Max wasn't just a dog. He was proof that healing is possible. And I swore to myself, if they wanted a reason to fear him, they'd never get it. But if they wanted to underestimate him, they'd regret it. That chance came on a rainy Thursday night. A brutal thunderstorm rolled in. The wind howled. Power lines snapped. The whole neighborhood went dark. I grabbed flashlights and lit some candles. Max stayed glued to my side. He always hated loud noises. Then I heard a scream, faint but sharp. I opened the door. The storm pounded, but I could hear it again, clearer now. Help. Somebody, it was a woman's voice. Max bolted out the door. I grabbed a raincoat and followed him, calling his name. He raced across the street, straight to Karen's house. My heart dropped. The front door was wide open. Karen was in the front yard, barefoot, crying, yelling. My daughter's missing. Apparently the storm had startled her 7-year-old, who ran outside without anyone noticing. Max darted around the house, nose to the ground, then veered toward the woods behind. The cul-de-sac. I caught up just in time to see him barking into the trees. I heard it too, a tiny, terrified voice. Mommy? Karen's daughter was trapped in a brushy ditch, too deep for her to climb out. Max stood at the edge, barking and whining, refusing. To leave, I climbed down, grabbed the girl, and helped her out. She clung to me, shaking. Karen came running, soaked and breathless, and collapsed to her knees beside her daughter. Thank you, she sobbed. Oh my God, thank you. I looked down at Max. His tail wagged once. Then he sat, calmly, like he knew the job was done. Word spread fast. By morning, the entire neighborhood knew what Max had done. Parents who once avoided us now knocked on my door to say thank you. Kids who were told to stay away now asked to pet him. Max was no longer the dangerous pit bull. He was the hero dog. Even the HOA couldn't ignore it. Karen emailed me personally. No apology, of course, but she wrote, "In light of recent events, the board will no longer pursue action regarding your pet. We recognize the value he brings to the community." That's the closest she'll ever come to admitting she was wrong. A month later, the local newspaper ran a story. From feared to fierce protector. Neighborhood. Dog saves child during storm. Max's face was on the front page. I framed it and hung it in our entryway. These days, Max still takes his morning walks with me. But now, people greet him. Some call him Super Max. One of the kids even made him a red paper cape. He carries it in his mouth like it's a badge of honor. And Karen, well, she still walks around like she's queen of the block. But she gives us a wide berth. I've seen her daughter sneak over and pet Max. When she thinks no one's watching, it's funny how quickly fear turns to admiration when the truth shows up at the right moment. I don't know what would have happened that night if Max hadn't acted. But I do know this. The dog they all judged saved a life. And not just any life, the one closest to the woman who tried to destroy him. So next time someone tells you a pit bull's too dangerous, or too scary, or doesn't belong, tell them about Max. Tell them about the storm. Tell them about the girl in the woods. Tell them about the dog who didn't need to prove anything, but did anyway.